Hi guys, Mr. Hill here with your maths for today. We're looking today at subtracting fractions through 1. Now it's no different to subtracting through 10 or through 100 when we're using whole numbers. The only difference is we're using fractions. We'll go through it today and you'll be a champion at it by the time we finish this lesson. To get us started, we're going to have a look at finding some equivalents to begin with. We've got a subtraction practice question to work from our skills from last week, and then we've got one to have a go at that will take us through into the next hole. Have a go with it. Pause the video here to complete these. Okay, how did we get on? So question 1, 5 over something is equivalent to 1. Well, we know where the numerator and the denominator are equal, then that is equal to 1. So our equivalent fraction here is 5/5. Now looking at question 2, we've got something over 3 is equivalent to 4. So remembering that 3/3 would be equivalent to 1. For each whole after that, I need to add 3 more to my numerator. So 6/3 will give me 2. 9/3 is 3. 12/3 will give me 4. So the answer here is 12/3 is equivalent to 4. Question 3, 6.5 take away 5/12 equals. Well, the first thing we need to do is make 6.5 into an equivalent fraction with 12ths as the denominator. So we have 6 and 6/12 take away 5/12. Now with this one, my smaller fraction, or the number I'm taking away, is smaller than the 6/12 I have from my 6. So I don't need to exchange anything. I'm not going through 1. So I can do 6 take away 5, which will give me 1/12. So my answer is 6 and 1/12. Question 4, we do go through the 1. The answer is 1 and 2/3. So to show you one way of working this out, we know from question 2 that 2 is equivalent to 6/3. And I'm taking away 1/3. Now I can do this nice and easy. I've got my denominators to be the same. 6 take away 1 gives me 5/3. And now all I'm doing is converting my improper fraction to a mixed number. So I know 3 goes into 5 once with a remainder of 2, and my denominator here is 3 because I'm working in thirds. So bearing that in mind, we're going to move forward into our lesson for today. So I have 2.25 take away 5/12. And I have my little hard-backed friend here saying, I don't think it's possible to calculate 2.25 take away 5/12. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a quarter and I'm going to make it into the equivalent. So I'm going to multiply that by 3. So I have my denominator as 12. So I now have 2 and 3/12. So my question now becomes 2 and 3/12 take away 5/12. Now, think about the question. Can it be done? Okay, if you said yes, you're right. But we need to do a little bit of manipulation of our numbers. So we'll do it with a bar model to begin with. So 2 and 3/12 take away 5/12. I have my 2 wholes, which are these 2 bars here. And I have my 3/12, which is this one here. So I have everything together and I'm going to take away 5/12. So 1, 2, 3. And now I've got to break through into the next hole. So the same as, like I said at the beginning, when we're subtracting through 10 or through 100 or even through 1,000, we need to go to the next one. So I've taken my first 3 off and I now need to take 2/12 out of the hole. So I've taken away my 5/12. So 2 and 3/12, take away 5/12. And I did that. I had 3/12, which got me down from the bottom here and removed that bottom row. And then the 2/12 here, which we've taken out of the whole 2, out of the 24/12 that make 2. So 2 and 3/12, take away 3/12, leaves me with 2 wholes. Then I'm working out 2, take away 2/12, that leaves me with 1 and 10/12. And we can do that by counting up. So we've got a full bar here, which is 1, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we can always go the extra step and simplify this. I've got 2 even numbers in my fraction, so I can divide them both by 2 and I can get my fraction down to its simplest form. If you didn't do that, don't worry, the question hasn't asked you to do it. Moving forward now, I have 2 and 3/12, take away 5/12. We can use a number line as well, making sure that we keep everything split into 12ths. So 2 and 3/12 will go here, 5/12 will go here, and we're working out the difference. So 7/12 gets us from 5/12 to a whole, because I know 7 add 5 makes 12. I have 1 whole to get me from 1 to 2. And then I have 3/12, which gets me from 2 to 2 and 3/12. And then I add them all together. 7/12 plus 3/12 plus 1 gives me 1 and 10/12, or 1 and 5/6. Whichever method works better for you, whether it's the number line, whether it's the blocks and the grids, whichever works best for you, use that method. This is just one way of solving the problem. Okay, have a think, have a go at these two. Try out both methods and see which works for you. Pause here to complete this. Okay, 1 and 1/5, take away 7/10. The first thing I need to do is get everything to the same denominator. So I've multiplied 1 and 1/5 by 2 to give me 1 and 2/10. Take away 7/10. So using my bars, I've got 1 full bar at the top here, and I've got my 2/10 here. So I need to split my 7. I'm going to take 2 away, which will get me back to 1 whole, which are these 2 here. And then I take away the 5, which leaves me with 5/10. So we can just go back and check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5/10, I know 5 and 10 are both in the 5 times table, so that one is equivalent to 1/2. Question 2. Again, making sure the denominators are the same. So 2 and 2/9, take away 6/9. So I've multiplied 2/3 by 3 to get my denominators to be the same. This time we're going to work it through using a number line. So 2 and 2/9 will go here. 6/9 will go here. And now I need to work through to get to 1 through the holes and then to get to my last part of the fraction. So 3/9 added on here gets me from 6/9 to 9/9, or 1. Add a whole and then add 2/9 to get me from 2 to 2 and 2/9. Then we add those together, which gives us 1 and 5/9. 2 more questions to have a look at here. 2 and 1/7 take away 6/14 equals, and 2 and 6/7 take away 1/14 equals. Which calculation here will break through the whole? How do you know? So have a think about this one. Pause the video here. Right, How did we get on with this one? We need to make these into equivalents. So 2 and 2/14 take away 6/14 gives us one answer. 2 and 12/14 take away 1/14 equals another answer. Now that we've done that, which one of these is going to break the whole? Do you want to change your answer? So the one that's going to break the whole is A. We know this because the numerator here is greater than the numerator here. So where we have this, this is where we will be breaking the whole. On the other side, on B, we don't need to break the whole. Everything is going to work out without breaking the whole. So it's A. Now it's your turn. Have a go at the subtractions. Use the bar models or the number lines, whichever one you're most comfortable using. Complete the subtractions that are on the screen and answer the questions. Remember to read them carefully and remember to find your equivalent fractions. Pause the video here. How did we get on? Ready for the answers? So using the bar models, we've broken the whole in each one of these. So using the bar model, we've partitioned 7 here. We've got 6 we've taken from there and 1 from the next one along. Same with B. We've partitioned to take 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we've taken from the whole for the 3. And C, again, 3 taken to finish us down to the whole. And then we've gone through the next whole. Check your answers here. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, let's move forward. Dexter watches television for 3 2/5 of an hour during a weekend. Dora watches 13/15 of an hour fewer than Dexter. Dora watches 1 hour of television on Saturday. How long does Dora watch television on Sunday? This is a really wordy question, so we need to be careful as we work through it. So Dexter has got 3 2/5. So 3 hours and 2/5 of an hour is the time he spends watching television. Dora spends 13/15 of an hour fewer or less watching television than Dexter does. Have a think. How can we solve the first part of this question? What's it asking us to do? Pause here to have a go. Okay, what did you come up with? What we're looking at is a subtraction. So I need to do 3 2/5, take away 13/15. I can't do that at the moment because my denominators are different. So I need to make them equivalent. So I'm going to multiply 2/5 by 3 to give me 6/15. And now I can look at my fractions and I can see that I'm going to have to break the whole in order to be able to answer this. So I need to take 6/15 to get me back to 3. And then I've got 7/15 to take away from the 3. So 3 and 6/15 take away 6/15 gives me 3. 3 take away 7/15 gives me 2 and 8/15. So remembering that one whole in this instance will be 15/15. So 15 take away 7 leaves me with 8. So the answer will be 2 and 8/15. We still haven't finished answering the question. We've worked out the difference. Now we need to answer the second part of our question. So we know Dora watches television for 2 hours and 8/15 of an hour in total. Dora watches 1 hour of television on Saturday. For how long does Dora watch television on Sunday? So we're doing 2 and 8/15 take away 1. So I don't need to do anything with my fractions this time. I'm taking away the whole. So it's 2 take away 1. which will leave me with 1 8/15. And remembering, we're talking about hours. So if we've got units of measurement, we must make sure we write them down with our answers, because when we do our tests, they don't always have the unit of measurement written next to where the answer is going to go. You need to get in the habit of writing down, whether it's centimeters, meters, milliliters, hours, minutes, or seconds. Get in the habit of writing down the unit of measurement that's described in the question. So the difference between a fraction and a mixed number is 3/4. The fraction has a denominator of 12. What could the fraction and the mixed number be? So what our question is asking us is, a mixed number is equivalent to a fraction, take away 3/4, which equals something. So the fraction has a denominator of 12. So there we go. We have a fraction with a denominator of 12. So something and something over 12, take away 9/12, which is equivalent to 3/4. So if we're going to go back a step here, we multiply all of this here by 3. This is how we get our 9/12. Now, leaving this, we're going to need an answer over 12 because we're working in 12ths. So 1 5/12, take away 9/12 equals 8/12. So there's our mixed number and our fraction to give us an answer of a fraction. Now it's your turn. Have a go at these questions. They're a little trickier than they have been. They might be a challenge. Have a go, see how you get on. And then when you're ready, press play for the answers. How did we get on with these? Looking at question 4 first, the potatoes, the cheese, and the carrots. How much more do the carrots weigh than the cheese? So I've got 1 2/5 kilograms of carrots, and I'm taking away 7/10 kilograms for the cheese. So I need to be mindful of the fact that I've got different denominators here. So the first thing I need to do is make 2/5 into 4/10, because I'm going to multiply all of that by 2. So I've got 7/10 there. The 7 I can partition into 4 and 3. So I've now got, if I take 4/10 away, I've now got 1, take away 3/10. I know 1 is equivalent to 10/10. So it's 10 take away 3, that leaves me with this here, 7/10 kilogram. Jack uses 17/20 kilogram of carrots. How many kilograms does he have left? So going back again, 1 2/5 kilogram in the bag of carrots. We've used 17/20. We need to make this 2/5 into an equivalent. So I'm going to multiply that by 4. So it's now 1 8/20, take away 17/20. Again, partitioning 17. If I take away 8 to get me back to 1, I'm left with 9. So the question then becomes 1 take away 9/20. And again, remembering that 1 is equivalent to the denominator and the numerator being the same. So 20/20 take away 9/20 would be one way of writing this out that would help us. So we have 20/20 take away 9/20 gives us our 11/20 there. It's the same procedure for part C as well. It's all about the equivalent fractions and working through. Question 5, Eva is doing the long jump. On her first attempt, she jumps 3 meters and 2/9 of a meter. Her second attempt is 2/3 of a meter shorter. How far does she jump on her second attempt? So what the question's asking us here, 3 and 2/9, take away 2/3. First thing we need to do, get the denominators to be the same. So I'm going to multiply this here by 3, which will give me 6/9. So the question is now 3 and 2/9, take away 6/9. So I'm going to take 2/9 to get me down to 3. So my question becomes 3 take away 4/9. Now I need to break the whole here. So I'm going to remember that 1 whole is equivalent to 9/9 in this occasion. So I'm going to take 1 whole out of this. So I've now got 2 and 9/9. This is not necessarily the best way of writing this, but it works. Take away 4/9 will give me 2 and 5/9. Have a go at 6. Share your answers on Tapestry. There's lots of different ways of doing it. So again, this is looking at the last piece of the lesson that we did. So if you've got stuck with these, have a go back through that question that we do, and then come back and have another go at question 6. Well done today, guys. You've worked really well. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you back in class very, very soon.